What's good, people? Welcome back to the video. Today I reacted to Bryson Anniversary, the full album. I've been hyped for this, bro. When I saw that it got announced, yeah, just ridiculously hyped for this one, to be honest. It was between this and Savage Mode 2. Thought I'd check this out and then check out Savage Mode 2 in a couple days, maybe on Sunday. If any of you are confused by my surroundings right now, I had to move, and that's why there was like quite a few days without uploads. We're back on the grind now. I know it's a bit different. I'm still getting used to it. Had to set up the setup once again, But yeah, this is the first video we're going to do. We're going to do the Q&A this weekend as well. I haven't forgotten about that. I haven't bottled it for the second time. That is going to come out just to get the ball rolling again, because it's just sort of been a few days not recording. And yeah, we're going to check this out, man. Before we jump into it, guys, if you are new around here, please drop a sub. We're on the road to 3K, and we're trying to hit that as soon as possible. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, description below, and of course drop a like and a comment on the video as well. I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's just get into this, man. Bryson Anniversary. He released the deluxe tracks the other day, which got everyone pretty excited. That was dope to sort of revisit that project. I sort of listened to that project again and the deluxe tracks, and then found out this is coming out, and bro, let's just get it, man. 10 tracks, got a Drake feature on it as well, a bit mad. Let's just get into this, man.
With what the young generation is doing, and I'm like, yo, man, you really just got to do this shit. Like,
Someone tell me who that is, if anyone knows. Bro, I'm hyped, man. Please don't be lazy.
Years go by, where we at right now? Though we might be able to relax right now. Press on me whenever I'm flat, lying down. I can't keep them on my back right now. The game call me and say come back right now. Put the fire on the fucking wax right now.
Where that came in, bro.
Eggs and one batch right now, but I can't risk that right now. No, city on fire, that's cause of me and Jack. 50 dudes got the city loose going platinum.
Right, I've got to pause it. I just love that bar. City's on fire because of me and Jack. Obviously, Jack Harlow. They're both from Louisville. I probably pronounced that completely wrong. They've actually got a track together that I've been meaning to react to for a little while. But bro, the way that came in, his beat selection is just crazy, man. It's always been on point. And just these vocals, bro. It's so good to hear some new Bryson, to be honest. Those deluxe tracks were great, but this feels, you know, more current. I'm just really hoping this is going to be sick. But so far, I'm just loving this, man.
Listen, boo, I gotta make these anthems. Any who's you and ghosts on me, Danny Phantom. Single ladies for ransom. Homie, baby, no ransom. Yeah, show the night, hold tight. Punch your leg on the night, baby, get closer, right? It was meant for you.
It's just such a vibe, bro. It's everything he releases, it's just such a vibe. It's so smooth, man. It's just in his bag. Okay, that was track 1, Years Go By. Fantastic intro, bro. Fantastic intro. It's exactly what I want from Bryson Tiller. Not anything too complex, but the beat goes crazy, man. He's in his pocket, and his vocals just ride over this style so well. It's great to hear something from him, man. Great to hear. I think he was in that conversation a couple years ago, or a few years ago now, and he sort of just dropped off a bit. I mean, the guy can do whatever he wants to do, but it's just fantastic to hear some new music, man. People have been crying out for some shit, and this is just, bro. So excited, right? Let's keep going. Okay, track 2, Always Forever. Track 2, Always Forever. Again, extremely solid, man. Just love the production, love the vocals. It was quite interesting. I wasn't so sure at the beginning what he was doing with his vocals. It did sound a bit higher, or I'm just spinning out, but it just sounded like the pitch was slightly risen. Don't know whether that was done in post or was just the style he sort of went for. But so far, this is dope, bro. I do get a bit worried sometimes that some of the tracks can get slightly one-dimensional or not sort of go a different way. I mean, so far it's fine, but sometimes I find with R&B artists, from time to time, it can sort of not waver too much and not be too experimental. But you know, I trust in the process. We're only 2 tracks in, so should be all right. But let's keep going. Okay, track 3, I'm Ready For You. Okay, I might just completely eat my words. This is so like heavy.
And I know you know this already. Shoot, been that bitch already. You don't wanna hear shit, now let me tell you. You're top of my list, I'm ready. Baby, get to know you better. Tell me how your ex nigga really took it lost with this shit, huh?
I'm loving how experimental this feels. So many different elements, just the sound of it overall. You see that little sample in the back? Okay, so I completely ate my words, 100%. Literally, I was just talking about how I don't want to be too one-dimensional. It just comes in with this just really erratic, sort of heavy beat, which just worked ridiculously well. I suppose Bryce has used beats like this before, and it usually works, but just, bro, stylistically, this is nuts, man. And the way he's just riding over this, again, like I mentioned before, it's just majestic, bro. Just the vocals, the way he alters his vocals to match with the beat, he's always done, you know, like I said in the last track, it's like the pitch was slightly higher, sort of the story he's telling, and the way he does with his voice, just the way he uses his tone, and the way he sort of paces himself over these beats. Like, this is quite an awkward beat when you think about it. It's on beat, but it's almost, you know, slightly awkward and erratic, and he's still able to sort of just go over it so smoothly with just ease. It just feels like he's doing it with complete ease, man. Oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this project.
I left as soon as I saw you post up them pictures of you flossing and shit, huh? I just had to get to know
Posting
you
those pictures of you flossing and shit.
Nigga really took a loss with the shit. I finished off with the hate right, like I'm talking and shit, huh? Hey yo, nigga, don't be talking about shit. That's the difference, yeah, he really on ball with the shit.
Love it when it just cuts out. It's the vocals. Dude, right, that was fantastic. That's probably my favourite one so far. I just loved, like I said, just how erratic and different the production sounded. Obviously, Bryson has done something similar, but like I said, just the way he was weaving in and out of that beat, just crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy, man. I fuck with this heavy so far. I was nervous, to be honest. There's so much anticipation for this album, and I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to feel about it. But like I said, there was a fear inside me that it might have been slightly one-dimensional, but so far, it's not looking like that. But yeah, man. Right, track 4, Things Change. Who produced this album? Can someone tell me, please?
Calling you up with fixed things right now. Are you listening right now? Are you listening?
See, now the vocals are so prominent.
I know how much you miss me. You miss love you, man. You know I do. Then how the fuck I choose on over you? How? You know I can't settle for it. Try to tell myself I don't need that. Yeah, I know that you classy, but you free too. I gotta see that.
I'm loving just the samples. It hits that really high-pitched sort of vocal in the back.
Knowing if I go too deep, I get lost and it won't be back. She would never get me back. It's an evident relapse. I see you hurt, I see you cry. You see DC in my eyes. You hit DC for a drive. Threw my CD out the. See you playing with me now. I'm saying,
not gonna lie,
eager now. When I'm thinking it's best if we.
It's gonna get a bit samey for me. Loving this. Constantly talks about how he's just far better than anyone's ex.
I don't wanna text, I don't wanna chat. Stole your heart, think I won't give it
flow.
back. Trust me, this shit been holding me back.
Okay, that was track 4, Things Change. Dope, man. To be honest with you, that final bit sort of slightly saved it for me. I was getting, I don't know, it felt a tad bit complacent. Not complacent, it's probably the wrong word, but it was feeling slightly samey, and I was sort of waiting for the song to be over to go on to the next one, honestly. And then that sort of switch up at the end, and that flow and that delivery from him, and just the way it sort of, like I said, the way it switched up, sort of brought my attention back to the track a bit more. And I feel like that was my one worry, like I mentioned before. Just sometimes it can just get a bit one-track minded, and you know, I feel like you need to experiment with shit like this. But you know, still a dope track. I'm not going to say it was a miss or anything, but hopefully he's going to save it with the next one. But the outro was fucking dope. Okay, track 5, Timeless Interlude. Let's get it. Love a piano, man. I love every fucking instrument. I always say that, but loving this.
Yeah, that's right. I'ma be okay. They be like, do the task right. I got 7 homies now, but still I keep my bro around. Crazy, we both older now. Babies know they older now. Plus I know they count on us to lend more than a shoulder. This world is growing colder. Normally I'm closed off, but just for this specific song, I might try to let them in. Save less than for a different song, but
love this, man. It's a great interlude. It's really
that's
raw,
right.
stripped
We
back.
gon' be okay. You know I'm gon' do that task right. And I'm talking about this rapper like them flashing lights and cashing the flights on PJ's crazy, right? But if I gave this life to who I was on God, I would hate my life. And if Jesus take my life, it's I made it to the greatest heights, he said.
So he's saying that in his past, if he had this rapper life now, things might not have turned out the way they've turned out. I'm loving the honesty, I'm loving the genuine nature of him on this. I loved how raw the production was, like I said, the piano, just that, again, that sort of really high-pitched vocal sample in the background, and then him just, he even mentioned it in that, you know, he's stopping the last, he's going to strip back himself and sort of open up on this interlude, which I really fuck with, man. The honesty is great to hear. It's something a bit different that I think is really nice to have in the middle of the album. Sort of, I always mention this, but having an interlude or having a certain track that just takes a step back from everything and sort of makes you appreciate the artist and the person making it, and then it'll bring you back into the album. But I'm really liking this, man. Really, really dope.
True, but even if things don't end up cool, at least I know I can. Sincerely.
Okay, that was track 5, Timeless Interludes. Halfway through, like I sort of mentioned everything I wanted to say about that track, to be honest. Just the honesty and the genuine nature of it I thought was really dope. I just enjoy shit like that when you can just sort of strip yourself back and just be honest with the listener. And yeah, man, just a heartfelt little track, you know. What was an interlude? Just that, man, that piano kills me every time. Really dope. I really enjoyed that, to be honest. It was a nice little sort of brought me down to a level. Right, track 6, Sorrows. Let's go.
When I'm lonely, baby.
Bro,
It's like my friends don't know me.
I hate how soft it is, and then it just comes in and it kills you every single time.
Even the trees get lonely. If you ever needed or wanted, I got you, you know this. And if you ever home alone and need a little company,
There's little like really light hi-hats
baby, I'll be right over.
setting the tone.
Hey, yeah. You don't miss me, babe. I'm already trying to convince me, babe. Don't be somebody else since me, babe. Think I might do the same, don't tempt me, baby. Hit the party and get friendly. Honestly, no, I don't got it. It's no fun when you're not here with me.
It was really interesting to go from that interlude, sort of bring you down like I mentioned, and then come back into this. But what I mentioned before, bro, just he does it with so many tracks where it's so soft, and he just completely takes you by surprise with this massive fucking drop. I'm really liking this, man. I don't know if it's just because we've just come from that interlude. I'm just loving the production. Like I said, there's really light little hi-hats in the background that's sort of setting the tone for the rest of the tune. Again, it's sort of, you know, it is very similar to some of the other stuff, but I don't know, I'm just appreciating it, man. It's just hitting a bit different.
Sort it out. You got lost me a little moment, baby, if you
So even if there's a whack track, the production just saves everything. Never has whack production, ever. It's taken him long enough though, to be fair, to pick all the beats. Okay, that was track 6, Sorrows. I've actually noticed I'm not pausing too much. I'm just sort of just taking it all in, man. It's such a vibe, and I'm just appreciating the overall sound of everything. I did fuck with that. Like I said, it was hitting different, man, to be fair. I was really loving the production. I was loving the vocals over it as well. I'm not going to say it was a standout one to me, to be honest with you. That sort of fear I had is slightly existing in the back of my mind, that some tracks are sort of merging into one. Which is a bit of a nightmare, to be fair, but it's alright, you know, it's still solid. I still really fuck with it. It was definitely a vibe. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but hopefully you guys can sort of understand what I mean. Right, track 7, Inhale, like that delayed sort of clap. Every single time I sort of make a massive point of saying that stuff's getting slightly repetitive or it's sounding the same, he then sort of just completely throws me off. I don't know whether he just knew I was going to make this reaction or what. But yeah, that was sort of a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you. Like I said, it sort of gave me nostalgia of like older R&B vibes. Extremely slow production, you know. A lot of his stuff can be quite fast-paced. It's smooth yet slightly aggressive, but with that it felt a lot slower, you know. It felt a bit more relaxed on it. It seemed like he was having a bit more fun on this track. He has fun on all his tracks, I'm sure, but there's a bit more of a relaxed feel to it, and the production, like I said, was a bit slower. Quite enjoyed that little clap, you know. It was like multiple people clapping, as if like everyone said clap now and everyone fucked it up. That's what it was reminding me of, with just a really smooth bass line, man. Just a nice little tune again, sort of take you back. It's been pretty solid so far, to be fair. It's slightly, some of it is slightly repetitive. I'm not going to hide that fact, to be honest with you, but a lot of it's been really fucking dope. To be fair, I'm really fucking with this, man. And the next track is featuring Drake as well, which I'm really intrigued for. I heard that this existed like yesterday or the day before, and I was really intrigued to know where they're going to go with this, so we're going to check it out. Okay, track 8, Out of Time, featuring Drake. Let's go.
I've been thinking maybe things were never the way we made them out to be, how we thought.
Okay, Drizzy.
Lately, I'm not sure.
Interesting. Really, really stripped back, simple production when you think about it, really.
Why I still play into your palm. Even though I know what you want. Been twisted of you so long.
Interesting, to be honest. Not exactly sure what I was expecting, but I'm fucking with it. Again, the production is extremely simplistic to an extent. Obviously, there's a few bits going on. I think it's definitely based on the vocals more than anything, but I'm really enjoying the sort of angle that Drake has taken on this. I'm loving how he's structuring his vocals and the way it's stopping and starting. Yeah, man, he's just sounding really dope on this, to be honest with you. He's sort of, you know, he can do this, obviously he's done it before, but he's sort of embracing this slight Bryson style and sort of bringing it onto this, to be fair, quite interesting, weird sort of beat, you know. There's this sample that's carried on throughout the whole entire album. Not as necessarily the exactly same sample, but just a really high-pitched female voice sort of riding through. At least I want to say it's female. If it's male, and I've banged on about being female this whole entire time, you can let me know in the comments below. But yeah, man, I'm liking this, to be honest. I can sort of see this popping off, although obviously Drake being in it's going to pop off anyway. It's just got that sort of feel to it that I just feel like will pop off. Might be like a remix to it at some point or something like that, I don't know. But I'm intrigued to know how Bryson comes in on this as well, man. I'm liking it. I love how it's stopped as if it's like two separate things.
No, you know not anymore. No, I can't wait till we find a way to part ways. Seems like your days are dark days. I still play into your phone, even though I know you want. I've been twisted on you for so long,
Can't decide which one's better, to be fair. Drake surprised me.
Got me twisted, I could only wait for so long.
Okay, Out of Time featuring Drake. Interesting. I did fuck with it. I don't know. I sort of was expecting slightly more, honestly. I feel like Bryson getting a Drake feature, you would think it might go a bit further. I don't know. I did enjoy it. It was a nice little vibe. I just thought there wasn't a hell of a lot to it. It was sort of just Drake's vocals, then Bryson's vocals over this interesting sort of beat. I just feel like the opportunity might have been slightly wasted on that, honestly. I'm sure it'll pop off because people want to hear Bryson and Drake on the track. And I'm not going to say it was lazy. It just wasn't a standout for me, as you sort of see that feature and you think surely they've done a madness, and I just feel like they may not have done the collaboration justice in my personal opinion, but I still enjoyed it. Saw that it was a nice little vibe. But just, you know what I mean, you guys might love that track and I might be chatting on my ass, but it's just my personal opinion. Okay, track 9, Keep Doing What You're Doing. Yes mate, keep doing what you're doing. Let's go.
I love you. Bottom of my heart. Mama.
I wish I believed. You gotta keep it moving. Gotta keep it moving.
Interesting. It was a lot more cinematic, almost.
Keep doing what you're doing.
It feels like a final track to a project almost, at least what I have in my mind.
Doing what I'm doing, I think that's what got me up. I gave them my best and that's exactly why I'm here. Hated how I felt to be in debt, to be in
This is the Bryson production, you know, bro.
It's
really drawn out. You can just hear that little like in the back, and then just this is like loving it, man. Piano's back, man. Piano's back. Ooh. I've loved how experimental the production has been sort of throughout. Obviously, I did say something got a bit samey, but there's the odd track where he's really sort of gone outside the box to an extent, if you know what I mean. Okay, track 9, Keep Doing What You're Doing. Interesting. To be honest, bro, that track's went completely over my head. Something else just popped into my head. Some personal shit, and then I just completely zoned out in that track and I hardly said a word, and I apologise, I was listening. Interesting. I really do like the production. Like I said, that was sort of classic, taking a step back, sort of trap soul time, to be honest. You know, like I said, again, extremely simplistic, just that tiny little hi-hat and that sort of double hit from that bass line, then just really drawn out again and just really focusing on the lyrics, and it sort of gives me sort of Rambo to an extent, but nowhere near as sort of fast and aggressive as Rambo, but it sort of gave me that same sort of vibe. Nice little sort of longed out cinematic intro to that as well. Like I said, it sort of gave me vibes of like a final track to an album, and now we are coming to the final track, track 10, man. This has been fun, it's been enjoyable. I sort of wish it might have been a bit longer. I don't know, do I mean that? Maybe 10 tracks is what you need, I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna jump into the last track, track 10, Next to You. Let's go. Oh God. Bro, why has he got to outro it like this? That vocal, that distorted vocal, hitting.
Said I hate when you're away from here, so far away. Counting the days until you get here. Wait until you get here. Yes, I gotta connect.
Wow, man. It's like a movie, bro. All the different elements coming in and out. I'm just vibing out way too much. I'm hardly talking about the song. Certain artists just take you to another planet, bro, when you're listening. That vocal, that distorted vocal is perfect, man. This might be the best one so far, bro. What a way to go out, man. Go out with a bang. Reminds me of Giveon, the voice. Okay guys, Bryson Tiller anniversary. We just checked out track 10. Probably the standout track, man, to be honest with you. There were a few before that would sway me, but what a way, man, to just go out of a project, man. That was a definition of go out with a bang. I loved how smooth that was, that vocal. It was reminding me of Giveon. Weird if it is, if it's not, someone let me in the comments below. It probably isn't, but it just gave me that vibe, sort of like that Chicago freestyle track with Drake, sort of similar, sort of distorted sort of vocal, but bro, just so smooth. Anyway, the project overall, long awaited for sure. I can't remember how long it's been since his last project, but pretty fucking solid, to be honest, man. I'm not gonna say it was my favorite body of work from him, to be honest with you. So I think Trap Soul is just sort of above everything else, but there were some real standout tracks on here. I'm just really impressed that he came back, and this is a really solid project, to be honest with you. There's a lot of really solid tracks. I think the overrunning theme through it is classic sort of Bryson. Production wise, just excellent, to be honest with you. His beat selection, like I said, I mentioned in the video, his beat selection is always untouchable, and I also made the joke that he's had long enough to choose these fucking beats, but some of these were great, man. If anyone has any sort of context, or anyone has any sort of list of producers that did this, and I can check out myself, but I'd like to hear, sort of interact with you guys in the comments, obviously. So if anyone has any context on who produced this, bro, because wow, man, some of the tracks, seriously, that last track, bro, the third track, man, oh man, really dope, bro. I know the last sort of portion of the album I was sort of away. I just had some other shit, my mind, if I'm being completely honest, had some other shit on my mind whilst doing this, and the songs were sort of taking me to another planet, and I say that quite a lot, but Bryson's one of those artists that you just get lost in everything that's going on. So I apologise for not talking too much in the last few tracks. I was sort of just feeling it, man. You know when you just base it off feel instead of just really trying to listen sometimes, and it did just completely take me into another world, and I was just vibing out, man. Thank you guys for vibing out with me also, because yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a great listen. 10 tracks. I don't think it should have been any longer, to be honest. I thought that at the beginning, but I think 10 tracks is really solid for him. And I feel like it didn't get too samey. Like I said, there were a few tracks where I thought, these are merging into other tracks. Is it going to be like that? And then he would just come in with something a bit different. I think there was definitely little dribs and drabs of sort of fresh style, which I think helped out the projects a lot, like the interlude, for example, and some other tracks as well. It sort of just cancelled it out, so you just didn't get too bored or repetitive. And I think overall it was structured really well. Just a dope project, man, to be honest. I'm definitely going to give this another listen, and maybe discuss it further in a separate video. But overall, glad I got to sit down and listen to this with you guys. Fantastic. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, drop a like. If you enjoyed my rap stuff and you want to see me again, then please drop a sub. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram in the description below. If you have any requests for any Bryson or anyone else, chuck it in the comments below. For the meantime, guys, this has been Bryson Tiller's anniversary. I've been Charlie, and I'll see you in the next one.